John, up first in your notes, we have Marvel. That's the big thing everybody's taken away from this. The first thing you have here is we have a new Thor movie coming out.
Yep.
Called Thor 4 Love and Thunder.
Yep.
And we have a female Thor, or just Thor, played by Natalie Portman. What do you think about that? I like it. It makes sense. It should be good. She's a good actress.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to criticize Kevin Feige and his castings. He hasn't really given me a reason to be concerned. The only casting that I am not particularly crazy about would obviously be Captain Marvel, but yeah. So
I didn't mind her. I didn't mind her in the movie.
It's like I like the character. It's just her. She just comes off very. What's the word? I'm not sure if it's like smug or just very. I can't really describe it, but there's just something about her that just kind of annoys me to a certain.
When you're like the most powerful, good guy, good person in the universe, I think you can be smug a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and I'm not sure that even if smug is the right term to describe her, but yeah. But getting back onto Natalie Portman, I'm very interested to see her as a potential female as a female Thor in the Marvel What Ifs series. That should be really interesting. And there's so much content that they are running through through what Kevin Feige is calling on Phase 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, like you have Thor, you have Doctor Strange. Good. You have Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Hawkeye. Like, there's just so much stuff that is being rolled out, and with the Disney app coming, I believe, in November.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, which I cannot wait for. So like I'm very excited.
Take my money, Disney.
Yeah, exactly. Just take my money. Just a lot of fun stuff to be excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I don't want to say I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of comic books and Marvel and those movies, but a lot of the stuff from the comic books, I'm not that caught up in. So I'm going to ask this question, and if anybody's watching, might like start yelling at their computer screen or whatever. But Natalie Portman's character in the Thors was Thor's love interest.
Yeah.
In the comic books, is that how she turns in? Like, is the female Thor was the former love interest? Is that just how it's going to happen?
I can't 100% say this. I definitely have a few friends on Twitter who could probably better answer that, honestly.
You post it in the comments because I feel stupid.
I can't really say because even though I have read up on a lot of stories, whether it's from Marvel or DC, that one I am not 100% sure about. It could be. It wouldn't surprise me. Because just you figure that with Marvel they've had so many back inside stories with all of these characters. So
right.
I would like to think so.
Did they have They didn't have a release date for that, did they?
No.
It's here 2021.
Yeah, like
so in 2 years.
Yeah, like with pretty much everything regarding this, everything is like in either spring of 2021 or fall of 2021. So it's basically approximating like
right. Yeah.
But one of the things that I wanted to also talk about was the big announcement that Kevin Feige is bringing back the Blade series, which was formerly played by in
Wesley Snipes.
In late 90s, and for the longest time, Wesley Snipes has been trying to get another Blade film done, but it turns out that it's being casted by the actor who played Cottonmouth on season 1 of Luke Cage, who was a tremendous actor, and I'm trying to find who this guy's name was. I wrote down here somewhere.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
I probably butchered that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And he recently just won an Oscar, and supposedly when he was at the Oscars, he was talking in an interview that he wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with Kevin Feige of Marvel, and basically Kevin Feige said, "Oh yeah, we'll definitely sit down and talk." And sure enough, last Saturday at Comic-Con, they come out and they announce that he is indeed going to be playing as Blade. So I'm very excited, but it looks like that will not be released until Phase 5, which would not be for at least another 2 or 3 years.
At least I think at least 3 years.
Yeah.
On that low end.
So this is definitely way down on the pike there, but a very very exciting time for them to be bringing back that character, and I'm assuming that he's going to be involved with the other characters in the MCU. So I mean, like,
he wants that payday.
Oh, absolutely.
He wants that
and
Marvel payday.
Like if you're a big time actor, you want to get in the MCU because
look what happened to Robert Downey Jr.
Exactly.
He was
his career was.
I mean, he was there. He had Sherlock Holmes.
Well, and two, he had that whole history with his drug issues,
with his demons,
with his demons, and him playing Iron Man just completely just rejuvenated his whole entire acting career. I mean, and
with 10 years of just making
masterpieces,
making millions for Marvel at the box office.
Yep.
Okay, moving on, we got Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness spring 2021. This was announced as Marvel's first, like, what would they say, scary movie-ish type.
More of them dealing with the supernatural side of the MCU, because honestly, we really haven't seen all that much. We've seen things here and there, but now with Doctor Strange, with Scarlet Witch, with Blade also coming in, we're gonna be seeing more of the supernatural side of the MCU, of the Marvel franchise.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they mean by like suspense. Maybe it was suspense or scary. I forget what word it was. So forgive me on that. But that should be interesting. I love the first Doctor Strange film.
Yep.
Like a lot of these
visually,
yes,
it was just
impressive,
it was incredible.
Like a lot of these Marvel characters before the MCU, never really heard of, besides like Spider-Man, like the obvious.
I'm Spider-Man,
Captain America to a certain extent, but it was
Iron
always to me it was not as much. It was always Batman and Spider-Man, Superman and Spider-Man. At least me growing up.
Yeah, for me, I grew up in the 90s on Spider-Man, on X-Men, on Batman, on Superman.
I knew a couple of X-Men.
Like those were, and two, I was a really big Justice League fan. Yeah. So like
in the cartoon, yeah.
So like I saw all of those films. I as a kid, like even watching series such as like Static Shock or Batman Beyond.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that was such an underrated series to me. Like I was always fascinated by the Terry McGinnis character and his involvement with very old Bruce Wayne. So that was such
Yeah.
an interesting dynamic there.
Yeah, that was good. And thanks to MCU, I think I don't want to speak for everybody. I think it opened up everybody's eyes who's not reading the comics to see all these different characters. There's so many different characters that I didn't even know about, like Doctor Strange or Thor to an extent.
And the most important character of them all, Deadpool.
Yes.
Deadpool.
Yes.
And by far the perfect casting.
Burt Reynolds? No,
Ryan Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. What the hell was that? Excuse me, Ryan Reynolds.
They could not have find a bigger a-hole, a bigger douche, to say the least, who could perfectly portray that character. Like me, Matt, and my friend Phil, we go and we go and see all of these, and by far one of our most enjoyable times was definitely seeing the first Deadpool movie. We were in tears for literally a good 75 to 80% of that film.
And the subtle hints they put in the movie and
how they just bury everything, whether it's in the MCU, whether it's the god awful, one of the worst superhero movies that ever happened in Green Lantern. They poke so much fun at that, and it was perfect.
Yeah. Let's move on here because we have a lot to talk about from Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
Believe coming to Disney Plus is the Loki series, spring 2021. And I believe I read this is going to follow the Loki that disappeared. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen Endgame, shame on you. The Loki that left
it's July 26th. If you have not, then
there's a lot of films I haven't seen.
I've seen them all.
I mean, just in general.
No.
Not Marvel, but still. Anywho, the Loki that went in the multiverse that escaped with the Tesseract, and I couldn't think of the right term. So that should be interesting how they play off of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's much more information about that show.
No,
just the announcement.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing with that, and also Falcon and Winter Soldier 2. I would assume that this is taking place right after Captain America shows up as old Captain America.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look on that,
and
that's coming later this year, probably.
No, fall of 2020.
It is not 2020. It is, in fact, 2019, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't know that,
fall of 2020.
I hope this is water. Yeah. Hawkeye.
I'm very intrigued to see, and I believe, I'm not sure if that's going to be a film or
I think this
or
is
an actual series on the Disney.
I'm not.
App there. I want to say that that's going to be a series.
I feel like it's gonna. I feel like all of them would be a series. We have the Black Widow, which would be a prequel to everything.
Yeah.
But showing scenes from previous Avengers movies in it, and we're gonna learn about her past. I think that's the soonest one that's coming out soon, next year.
Yeah, that's, I believe. Yeah, this thing is so damn small that I can't read it, but it's the first of the franchise of going into Phase 4 of the MCU.
We have Black Panther 2 confirmed.
Yep.
And Into the Spider-Verse 2 confirmed.
Which if it's anything
like the first one,
I mean, we're in for a real treat. That is arguably one of the best animated films I have.
That really impressed me. Going into it,
especially
I was like,
especially too for Marvel. They really have not put out really good animated stuff in a very long time. that is mainly DC's thing, where they just
Yeah.
they hit home runs. I'm talking specifically of like Justice League, Son of Batman, and pretty much all of those animated Batman films, but and even Young Justice on the DC app, like they're just really well done. But like this, like I was shocked at how well that the critics were just raving about this thing. So I was like, okay, yeah, it is rated PG, but I mean, if they are raving this much about it, we have to go see it. And I left there not disappointed. Just the whole story,
Visually, it was good.
Visually, it was really well done, and just detailing the whole origin story of Miles Morales, who dealing with his upbringing and dealing with his family, dealing with the other Spider-Man from the other universes, seeing Peter Parker die right in front of him, like it was just incredible.
My favorite Spider-Man was Nicolas Cage's like noir Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I found that was the most entertaining Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. It was a much different Spider-Man. It was
I liked it.
It was a Spider-Man.
I want more of it.
Like his character reminded me a lot of Thor, and
Ragnarok,
or no, of Thor and Avengers Endgame, where like he was just mentally just broken. Like,
oh yeah, okay,
because in like his universe, he Mary Jane broke up with him, and just like had just given up on like life and was just content on just dying pretty much.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, we got WandaVision, spring 2021, about Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm. Which that should be really good. I'm very interested.
Like all these movies so far are just like, yes, I want to see.
I mean, like the MCU has not given me a single reason why I shouldn't be excited for anything that they
or
are
do
dropping.
I want to go and see?
Like even for smaller films such as Ant-Man and Captain Marvel,
they were still good.
They were still good. It's just like we just hold such a higher standard to these films because they are so great.
Yeah, and they're just throwing haymakers at DC.
Yep.
DC has no idea what.
Although I will say for DC, their last 3 films have been pretty darn good. Between Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Shazam were both really good films. Ever since that Zack Snyder left, and it's been all uphill from there. And I believe that Wonder Woman comes out, I believe sometime in 2020, which that pins Wonder Woman in the 1980s. So that should be very, very interesting.
Moving on, Titans Season 2 dropping on September 6th.
Yes.
You watched it. I think I haven't watched it yet.
Season 1, it's a very dark series. It's a very, very dark series. It's rated R. It was only 10 episodes. I personally really liked it. Some people had some criticisms about that, but I personally did not have a problem with the series. It's just basically it's Dick Grayson is basically on his own. This is like pretty much on his arc from going from as Robin on his way to becoming Nightwing and forming the Teen Titans with Starfire, Beast Boy, and Raven there.
Moving on, we have 4th season of Young Justice confirmed.
Yeah,
another one I really haven't watched.
Yeah,
there's too much stuff to watch.
That is an animated series. They are just finishing up season 3, or I believe season 3 now. So I believe there's maybe 6 or 7 episodes left. There is probably more, but yeah, they are finishing up that. It's been a really good series. It was originally on Cartoon Network for the first two seasons, and then it got canceled, and the internet just was pissed. Like they said, why did you cancel this? Like they wanted this show back so bad, and
Right.
and when the DC app rolled out, that was one of the things that they brought back was Young Justice, but this time it's more adult content, whereas for the first two seasons it was strictly more more PG. But,
Right.
But now obviously, I mean, like they were showing blood and everything when they rolled out this on the DC app.
And Avengers Endgame officially breaks all box office records of Avatar 2009.
Yep. I was not shocked about this. It was just a matter of time.
Now I'm confused here because I'm on boxofficemojo.com, and I can throw this up, which it's already up. It has Star Wars: The Force Awakens for domestic gross.
Well, like I think they are also talking on worldwide.
Is it worldwide?
Yeah.
Not domestic.
Yeah,
Let
worldwide.
Let me pull that up again. But domestic gross, Star Wars: Force Awakens is number one at 936,662,225. Now, let me go international don't want to do that. But let's go all time. Just looking for. Shoot. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Yeah. Worldwide. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's beaten Avatar. We should put this up here. Beaten Avatar, and is now in first place. It has 2.902 billion. Avatar's in second, followed by Titanic. Fourth, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and 5, Infinity War. And you can see the rest down there. Now, the one thing I think everybody wants to throw a wrench into this is that if you adjust for inflation, I don't think this movie is even in the top 5, at least in domestic, because I don't think they can. You can't. I don't know if you can include everything else, but if you go adjust domestically for ticket inflation, Gone with the Wind is still up top with 1,822,592,200, and it came out in 1939. So here's the top 5: Gone with the Wind, Star Wars, The Sound of Music, E.T., Titanic, The Ten Commandments, Jaws, Dr. Zhivago, I think I'm pronouncing that right, The Exorcist. I say top 5, I'm going top 10. And not top 10, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Now, are those updated? Are you sure that those are updated?
That is updated. That's okay. For adjusting for ticket inflation. Because Gone with the Wind came in 1939. Star Wars, the original, came in 1977. Sound of Music, 1965. E.T., 1982. Titanic, 1997. Pretty much everything's come out around the 70s and 60s, except with Gone with the Wind in the 30s. Yeah. Sound E.T. in the 80s and Titanic in 97. The most recent one that comes close, is just out of the top 10, is The Force Awakens at number 11 with 974 million, and that was in 2015. 101 Dalmatians in 1961's there. Empire Strikes Back. And then Avatar, if you adjust for inflation, from 2009 to 10 years ago, it beats Endgame by about 20 million if you really adjust for inflation. So if you really get technical, Avatar really didn't beat it, but just pure money.
Which is what it's.
Yeah,
Man.
just imagine. And then Gone with the Wind has been re-released. Star Wars has been released, but still, that's a lot of money if you just.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's the numbers. The numbers there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to the next subject we have. Is that the official statement for Phase 4 includes, like we talked about, Black Widow in 2020, Internals 2020,
Mm-hmm.
Shang-Chi in 2021, second Doctor Strange in 2021, and the fourth Thor in 2021. And they did mention that we have a new Fantastic Four
Mm-hmm.
early development.
Yep.
Do you think this one's actually going to be good?
Yes. Just like I said, Kevin Feige has not given me a single reason why I should doubt him. I think we will finally get a Fantastic Four film that we have been wanting for so long, because every single one has just been a colossal failure. Both from a fan perspective and obviously from a business perspective.
Yep.
has just never ever lived up to the expectations.
Yeah, and I haven't seen them, and apparently I made the good choice. Again, Black Panther 2, confirmed Blade, Captain Marvel 2, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3,
Yep.
and another X-Men are going to be and get involved.
Yep.
Since since they're under the Marvel name now,
Yep.
which I'm interested to see how that goes. I think X-Men movies now have been good, but there's been some disappointment in some of them, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
So
A lot of them have been really hit and really miss. Like the past, or like the most recent X-Men film, which was Dark Phoenix, with the whole Jean Grey storyline, was a really big disappointment. I know from a business perspective, it did not do well at all.
yeah. And then you have here in your notes that Tom Holland's contract with Marvel includes 6 pictures,
Yes.
which he has 5 already, right?
Yeah, so basically, I believe he has one more film under his
He
contract.
has to do, yeah.
But yeah, from a tweet that I read was that like Sony, or those are the films that Sony has agreed to with the
Marvel.
with the MCU. I would be stunned if that did not get extended.
I feel like it has
Yeah,
to.
yes.
Yeah, so he's already done Civil War, Homecoming, Infinity War, Endgame,
Mhm.
Far From Home, and so he has one more Spider-Man in his contract
Yep.
as of now.
Yep.
And do we have anything?
I think we pretty much covered everything from the.
We have the dates here for Black Widow. This screenshot from thing I forgot to mention: May 1st, 2020, Black Widow.
Mhm.
Internals, November 5th, 2020. Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, the full name, February 12th, 2021. Do we have May 7th, 2021 for Doctor Strange?
Mhm.
I believe
The
that's
Loki
it.
series and
It's spring, yeah.
Yeah.
What If, it's summer of 2021. And, we do have a date for Thor, Love, and Thunder, November 5th, 2021, we didn't mention it before. If anything else at a Comic-Con,
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything, and that was a lot of stuff there. They just rolled out announcement after announcement last weekend.
yeah, which was impressive. You just get on Twitter and it's just this,
Yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah.
this. Holy crap!
Yeah.